we live? Are we on? All right. Let's do this, guys. It's TyriaNow time, guys. Everyone's favorite part of the quarter. It's the truth. I don't even think it qualifies as casual. We're absentee Guild Wars 2 players at this point. Yeah, not much time to play Guild Wars. And I thought streaming once a day ran me into the ground. I mean, I know how I'm awake. Yeah, yeah. I logged in to play the story, but yeah, I've been off Guild Wars 2 for a few weeks. Sometimes you just need a break. I'll be back, guys. It's okay. Next episode, expect me to have a minute detail by detail breakdown of the patch like I usually do, right? But this time I played the story. We'll talk about that. And I didn't do much else. I looked at the gem store. I looked at the gem store. Yes. You know, I can't resist my gemmies. You didn't want someone pinging you like, hey, do you want to do a quick wing 5? Yeah, I mean, I go through phases with the game, right? I usually play for like 3 or 4 months, like every day, several hours a day, and then I'll just crash and have to take like a week to a month off. And I'm on a crash period right now. I will be back. I always come back. That's the thing. I learned I can't quit Guild Wars 2. I tried to quit when they did the build templates. I tried really hard. I tried really hard to quit the game permanently. And I I came back. I managed like 2 months. I think I managed like 2 months, and then I was just like, I want to do some fractals. So yeah, I'll be back. But yeah, this time we got kind of a bare bones overview of the batch. No quarter, guys. Yeah, the Corona sode. So you're just running from point A to point B, and then you look at your chat log and you're like, oh. Yeah. I mean, first of all, obviously they had to do it, right? It is what it is. So like I'm not blaming, I'm not being like, oh, Rena, like it's fine. That being said, I hated it. So here's the thing: I play a lot of isometric RPGs. It's like my favorite genre. And those games are usually mostly text with no VO, right? And I like those games a lot. But here's the thing: in ISO RPGs, the game pauses while you read dialogue, it stops, right? And you read it in a box, and you click through your responses at your leisure, right? Guild Wars 2 is made primarily for you to be actively playing the game while you listen to dialogue roll. And trying to read dialogue while you are playing Guild Wars 2 is awful. Yeah. I was trying to I was trying to read it in the speech bubbles as much as I could, but obviously that's just not sustainable. So yeah, I had to do a lot of chat box reading as well. I'm also not the fastest reader in the world. I don't know why my brain is that way, but yeah, so that's annoying, right? But it is what it is. It didn't ruin it for me by any stretch of the imagination. I was just like, all right, it's just the pace of the game. Guild Wars 2 is a fast-paced game, so you want to go, and you don't want to stop to read. You're not used to stopping to read, so it's jarring is the perfect word to describe it. But what made it infinitely worse, in my opinion, was every time a new character starts their dialogue, they go like something like that every time that a new person starts talking. I'm like, don't do that. Stop. Just stop right now. Yeah, no, bad. Either go full text or full VO. There is no in between. And whatever this abomination they've crafted is, it does not work. Miko, they can't hear you.
I know why. How about that, guys? Is that any better? Wah, wah,
There,
wah,
there
wah,
you are.
wah, wah, wah. Is that
There
good,
you
guys?
are.
We're good.
We've been going for probably like 10 minutes with
Ah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to back up? We,
Yeah.
we've been getting half of our dialogue, yeah. Or
Yeah.
our
So
conversation.
thank you to Jedrick in the
Thanks,
chat for
Jed.
pointing that
Appreciate
out.
that.
Thank you, dude.
This will be why. So I told you, well, you didn't hear me. Aaron heard me. No one else did. So I've been
Yeah, we
doing
had
a
some
lot of
good memes there. Fuck.
I've been doing a lot of streaming, but not for my channel for the past 3 months. I've been doing a lot of streaming for work. And one of the things that I have to do is have myself muted so that the audience cannot hear me while I give directions to the people who are actually on screen during live streams. So that would be why XSplit was muted. So apologies for that.
Force of habit.
Yeah, or just I didn't even bother to check that button wasn't muted. So we were talking about the no voice acting in No Quarter. Yeah, jarring. I agree. The grunting sounds of the I don't know if that's hard coded into the game already, and so that's easy to put in. Either that, or I feel like it was further along in development, and all they really needed to do, or had left to do, was just drop in.
Chat saying no voice acting was Pog.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was either that or they just needed, that was all that they had left to drop in was the voice acting, and then obviously the coronavirus hit and scuppered them all.
Yeah, because I imagine obviously they need to work the VO around the lines they have, right? And then they need to work the VO around the timing of the play session, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it obviously, I think it's pretty well, like most of the time in video games, the VO is one of the last things to go in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Chat saying they wish they would continue with no voice acting. Guild Wars 2 doesn't have terrible voice acting, man. It's all right. Like, it's not bad.
I mean, I'm kind of used to it, and I actually prefer it. I do like that when we do play Guild Wars 2, that we do have the voice acting. You can actually hear your characters. When I go to other games now that don't have voice acting, I find it jarring, kind of like this.
Here's the thing. I'm not trying to hate on the voice actors or the voice directors at ArenaNet. I'm sure it's fine, right? But we've talked before about how Guild Wars 2 just isn't quite as immersive as we might want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the VO has been I've ranted about how much I hate Marjorie's VO, for instance, right?
Really? I like her voice. Okay, but go on. Yes. I do remember.
We've gone over. I don't need to go into the Marjorie rants again. Nobody needs to hear that. But I just feel like there is a certain layer of, I don't know, I find it hard to buy in to any of the conversations that happen in Guild Wars 2. Okay. When I'm listening to it, I'm like, this sounds like a person in a studio pretending to be something.
You know what gets me is the way that when they have conversations between characters, that the one character is interrupting the other, there's like a pause, and then the next guy. So there's like no overshot of that voice actually interrupting, which would be closer to real life. But you know.
I mean, and almost all fictional dialogue is unrealistic to do that, because everyone says everything perfectly and there's no stumbling over anything or repeating or anything like that, right? It's fake. But the difference is, like, when I'm watching a movie or I'm playing other video games, I love the voice acting and I buy in completely, right? And I've just never really quite bought into Guild Wars 2's. That being said, though, just due to how the voice acting, the dialogue, and the gameplay interact, voice acting is the way to go with Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're playing the game while you experience the dialogue most of the time, especially with the phone conversations, right? Like,
yeah.
So, it was definitely weird, but what are you gonna do? Yeah. I was still able to enjoy the story despite the no voice acting.
Agreed. Agreed. So, let's say, so we're gonna go through some overall story thoughts next, since we've covered the voice acting or the no voice acting. What did you think of this story overall? Like, before we start giving a breakdown of each story step.
It's not bad. I feel like we have 2 episodes in a row now. Without spoiling yet, we will get into the ending, but we have 2 episodes in a row now where we kind of end on a loss for our team, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a big L, like 2 in a row now, big L.
Yeah.
For the Dragon's Watch Char Alliance. What's the alliance called? The Char United, the United States of the Char. I don't remember. I remember the Dominion. Bangar's people are the Dominion.
Right.
The United Legions? Is it the United Legions?
I think you're
United doesn't seem like the right word. No. Allied Legions? It might be United.
I think it's United.
Yeah, that's a bad look, isn't it? But yeah, I feel like we've ended the last 2 official episodes on losses for our team. You know, we have Bangar like suckers shooting us in a cave and almost killing us, which I still hate. And then the ending of this one, which we'll discuss later. I feel like they're trying to hammer it into us that Bangar is a competitive bad guy. Like, he's on the level of what we've been dealing with before. And I don't know, he's more of a Joko, right? He's not really a Kralkatoric or anything. He's more of a Joko.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good comparison. Yes.
Yeah, but the star player of this patch, ladies and gentlemen, the star player, and coming out of nowhere, is a guy named Smoter the Unflinching.
All right.
Who the hell remembered this guy? I didn't.
Smoter. I have thoughts about Smoter. So before we launch into character analysis, let's go through the story steps about that. So we start off the story, and we're in the story steps called Pointed Parley, or Parley, however you want to pronounce that.
Parlay.
Parley
For
is,
sure.
yeah.
Parley is.
I always say parley.
A grain.
That's barley. All right, so we get our orders. We've got a letter that gets us out there. Civil wars among the Char has happened, and here we go. We've got a meeting with Ryland, because apparently Ryland, the last we saw of Ryland, ladies and gentlemen, was in Visions of the Past.
The last we saw of Ryland, we were Ryland.
The last we saw of Ryland, we were Ryland, and we were like living into his doubts about Bangar.
Mm-hmm.
And
while also murdering Almora Soulkeeper.
While also murdering Almora, yes. Now,
although Bangar did do the deed himself.
Yes, this is true. But, after Ryland kicked her, had a bitch of a time to kick her ass. Okay, so Ryland now has basically, he's got the Imperators of the Legions over a barrel, putting it nicely. And he's got them basically losing this civil war.
Yeah.
What?
and Ryland is a right smug bastard in this quest, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He is.
Yeah.
The character shift from Ryland being, okay, I'm kind of thinking that Ryland might be an okay guy, to the Ryland that we get in this episode. I felt like that downshift would, my brain wasn't going there because it just felt weird.
I didn't see. Yeah, it was a disconnect for me as well, because you come off of Visions of the Past, like, okay, Ryland is starting to have doubts, right? He's not sure about this.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to kill Almora, right?
He'll have some redeeming qualities.
He might still feel some affinity for the Char in some capacity.
Right.
And then start episode 3 with Ryland like, y'all are bitches.
Yeah. Y'all are
Bow
my
down.
Bitches. And
he's sitting in a chair all smug like this, right?
Yeah.
And he's like throwing out demands, and it's like, whoa, where did this come from?
Right.
So
they're now calling him a tribune because he's earned it.
Yeah.
And
a Dominion tribune.
Right. And because Dominion has come out of where?
It's just it's a name that Bangar's
given themselves, right? Bangar has given themselves. Right, so we've got defections happening from the other legions going over to Bangar's side.
And apparently the Dominion, I think it's mentioned several times, the Dominion actually has a numbers advantage now due to defections.
Right.
So we're talking, and this is crazy to me a little bit, because we're talking like this is like the entire Char society here, right? And most of them have now converted to Bangar, like most of an entire nation. That's crazy.
I feel like I feel like we're missing something. Like we've walked into the story partway through.
Well, definitely if you consider that going from episode 2 to 3, we leave off it with Bangar shooting us in the face in an ice cave.
Yeah.
To full-blown Char civil war. And I agree with you. I think there is a missing episode between these two. This feels more like an episode 4.
4, right.
And it seems like there should be an escalation episode between these. Because it's just a little kind of out of too much has happened off screen, I feel like, and there's more that happens off screen later in this episode that I want to bitch about.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Right. So there is this stuff that's happened off screen, and now Ryland is the big daddy, and he's trying to be all big daddy on the Char Legion Imperators. Which,
and I guess you have Krisha and Ritlock kind of jointly leading the Blood Legion at this point.
I guess so. Yeah, it feels that way.
It feels more Krisha than Ritlock.
Krisha than Ritlock.
Ritlock's kind of a stooge.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. Yes.
Ritlock is a total stooge in this episode.
I see Ritlock being kind of written out in a way, which we can get to later.
Oh, he's gonna die. But yeah,
I think they're setting him up to have Rylan kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will definitely say that yes, I agree with
you.
Here's
the thing.
Yeah,
they're not gonna have Rylan kill him. They're gonna have Bangar kill him, and that's gonna flip Rylan.
Will it though? Because Rylan right now, I don't think is going to be flipping to anything. Rylan is just, I don't know. So here we go. So they're at this little parlay session, and Rylan is making his demands, and they're like, "Wait, no, we can't make these demands. You need to come back to the right side. Don't go off there."
Yeah, basically, the Dominion has won every battle, and they have all the territory in the area, and so Ryland is demanding unconditional surrender from the United Legions
and
of America.
Yes, of Charmerica. So that's what's happening, and we're there to basically listen in on the Char negotiations, which aren't really negotiations, and say, well, shouldn't we try again? Ryland basically
we walk in the room and we're just like, "Hi, I'm here," and I'm thinking, "Hi, I'm here. You shot me in the face last time we saw each other. You remember that?"
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. "Hi, I'm here," and the Char just like, "Yeah, thanks for coming."
But so we just walk in like, "Hi, I made it."
This
I'm
was
still
weird.
alive, by the way.
Yeah, I'm still alive, by the way. And this is weird for like for the commander, because it feels very much like the commander's the observer, especially in this first story step, just there to kind of like be a camera lens for us, the players, to look through, but our character doesn't actually do much.
Well, because we're used to being the boss, but we're not the boss of anybody in the Char.
Not the boss of
hierarchy.
No.
We're nothing.
No, yeah. Have you played through on a? No, you probably played through on your Sylvari, huh?
I did.
Right, so you haven't done your.
I guess we're technically Ritlock's boss because he's in our guild, so we are Ritlock's boss. But like I said, he's a stooge this episode.
Right. No, I was just going to ask to see if you played through on any of your Char yet.
I did. I only have the one Char character, and I did not play through on him.
So that
is there high quality dialogue on?
I don't know.
The Char?
I played through on a human because that's what I always played through on human first.
Do you have any? All your characters are human,
Char.
aren't they?
I have a couple of Char. I do. They sit in.
I don't think I've seen you play anything except all your raid characters are humans.
Probably, and then I'll occasionally bring in like a Sylvari, and yeah.
Let's be honest, they're just humans.
They're pretty much humans.
Male Sylvari, best voice acting though. Not that it mattered in this episode.
Yeah, no, the male Sylvari always has. Well, there you go. The male Sylvari is just good stuff. Okay, so I'm just checking the wiki page for the dialogue stuff, but no. So yeah, so we've got this parlay, and basically Rylan just walks away.
Mm-hmm.
He walks away. He's like,
because he's like unconditional surrender. We're like,
no,
it's not that easy. And so he's like, well, bye then.
Yeah.
So it kind of exposes him as he's very competent in like combat scenarios and all that stuff, but he's not a negotiator, is he?
No, he's not a negotiator at all.
No, he's got the negotiating skills of a teaspoon.
Yeah.
So it
yeah.
kind of exposes how, and then they get into this with some more dialogue near the end of the episode, but it kind of exposes how green he is, despite being a successful like wartime commander. He's not really ready for political command, which is what being a tribune is. I feel like Centurion is a military position. When you get to tribune level, you are now a politician.
Pretty much,
right?
Yeah.
And Ryland is not ready for that.
No, he's not ready for that. And one of the things that the other characters continually comment on is how young Ryland is, and how young his warband is. And meanwhile, his warband is the one that's at the center of the Dominion.
Yeah, and like basically each of the guys in his warband has got a detachment that's kicking their ass, right? They're all out just doing the thing.
Right.
And as I'm a young person in the world right now, I can tell you that nothing pisses you off like old people telling you, you're young, right? So it makes sense that Rylan would get like huffy. And I don't know if we comment on his age at the negotiating table, but there's several points later in the episode where he's like, yeah, and I can kind of understand that coming from him. His character does make sense in that capacity. It's just like we already talked about. There's some disconnects with his character going into this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, he walks away from the negotiation
table. He walks away
table.
from the negotiating table, and it leaves the Imperators and the commander to figure out what they're going to do next. And you've got.
And there's only, funnily enough, there is only one official Imperator left, because the Flame Legion are only newly integrated into the Char, and the Ephraim is recognized as a spokesperson, but not necessarily an official Imperator. And then Bangar's. Oh, there's two Imperators because Malice. And then Bangar's gone, right? So yeah, you have only two out of four Imperators. You have Smoter and Malice.
Yeah.
Malice, Sword, Shadow, just almost too Ash Legion of a name.
It really is.
It's trying a little hard.
It's a little too try hard.
Yeah.
And then we've got Smodor for Iron. And Smodor has taken the tack of, if you abandon the Iron Legion, if you defect and we catch you, we execute you.
There's a pretty hardcore scene you get to watch when you're walking up to the room,
and
where they
what the heck
they literally pop three deserters in the back of the head, execution style. It's gnarly.
It's really
of course, it's done with Guild Wars 2 preset animations, so it doesn't hit as hard as it could. Right?
And you're at a distance. You're at a distance. You trigger the assassination from a distance, so you get to watch it from a distance, essentially.
But yeah, they have an execution you walk past, and our character is just like, oh.
What the heck? Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a person who I obviously don't agree with executing defenseless prisoners, right? But I like the conflict and the alternate perspective of like the hard ass character in like military scenarios.
Yeah.
I enjoy that side of the spectrum in fiction. And Smoter starts out like that. So when we start out the episode, I'm thinking like, okay, Smoter's a bit of a hard ass, but I can see where he's coming from. Right? And then it just evolves as the episode goes.
It just gets worse.
Yeah.
So we've basically we end that story step basically figuring out, are we going to try to to attack them head on, or do like a guerrilla style attack?
Or you can click the third dialogue option and just say, let's do it all. Which is like, why is there even options then?
Yeah. Which one did you choose?
Like, should we do this one or this one, or should we accomplish all of it? All of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Is it even a question?
I mean, it's all happening anyway, because I don't know, the choices in this episode felt less meaningful because of the fact that they all happen anyway.
I mean, has Guild Wars 2 ever had meaningful choices though?
I feel like they've done a little bit better of a job.
Said it all.
Yeah, no. I feel like they've done.
Said it all. I asked you, and you just like.
Yeah, they've tried to like work it, and I may be conflating, what actually happened back in Guild Wars, like Nightfall and stuff. But the giving you a bit of like a step removed to kind of work out your choice to come back to whatever the narrative that they want to take you on. Here it felt like, click a button and we're just going to continue on. I don't know. And that might just be me. But yeah.
There's a part that's coming up next that I'll talk about that we already talked. It was a part I was messaging you about when I was playing through this, where it just hit me like, oh yeah, this game has no consequences.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so Rylan walks away, and we're left to decide whether we should take the Smoter route of just blitzing everything, right, or take the Malice route of guerrilla warfare style.
Right.
I picked let's do everything. Yeah, because look at the big brain on the commander over here, right?
Yeah. It just felt very, like I said, very, very weird. Very, I don't know. Very weird in how removed the commander was from any kind of meaningful decision making. That's where it felt.
Well, it's funny because like we are watching the conversation unfold for the most part, and then they turn to us and they go, "What should we do?"
Right, exactly. It's like, oh, all of a sudden my opinion matters.
I just feel like you're the imperator. You pick.
Yeah.
Who made me Connor all of a sudden? Although I do wish if you were like a character with the Claw of the Connor dagger, if you wielded it in that instance, they would give you like special dialogue. That would be sick. But I don't know. I seriously doubt that exists, but I don't have that legendary because it's dog shit. So we'll never know, will we? It's the worst legendary.
The daggers. Okay, so this takes us into the next step, which is shoulder to shoulder, which is basically you're going around, and as we do, this is what I call the filler step, because you've got to
go here and press F section.
Yeah, you're basically going around and trying to increase the morale of the Char because things are happening and they're getting.
You're doing busy work.
You're doing busy work. It's what it is.
Yeah.
So you
go kill a scout here. Go look at a tree here.
Right.
Go serve this guy food. Can you imagine? I'm the commander of Dragon's Watch. I have killed Zaitan and Kropkatork and Mordremoth, and this sentry is like, "Could you bring me some food?"
I mean, it's happened before.
I'm busy.
It's happened before. It's happened in other. It's happened in Path of Fire. It's happened.
It's a classic like
it is
disconnect with RPGs in general, where you're like this epic hero, and they're like, "Could you find?"
And it's a way for you to learn the map and figure out what events are happening. So I get it, but it's as a story step. It's
the audacity of this sentry going, "Could you bring me like a Happy Meal?" No, no, I can't.
At Char McDonald's, yeah. Yeah. So, have you like filled out any of the masteries for this through the story? Did you get to
I have
max any?
The very first like Char espionage one.
Same one.
And I got that. I just got the experience for playing through the episode. I think it's something like 300,000 experience or something.
It's not that much.
It's pretty chill. But yeah, during this go here, fetch this section, there's a part where you find a tree and you have to decode a message on the tree.
Yes.
Right? So my dumb ass is sitting here trying to actually use my smooth brain to figure out this code.
Yeah.
And then it hits me like a fucking wind blast. It hits me. This is Guild Wars 2. There's no consequences for guessing the wrong one. So I can just click through all this dialogue until I get the right one. And sure enough, you can't.
Right.
Because I forgot this is Guild Wars 2 I'm playing.
So, and if there is a book that actually tells you the code, that's sitting over by like Snarl and Galena. And
I went and found it after you told me about it.
Yeah.
But I'd already done the
You'd already done that part. It's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe I sat there for like 2 or 3 minutes going like, okay, so this is a line. That means 5. What a waste of time.
I found the book by chance. I went and clicked on it, and then I went, oh, well, okay, this is good to know. And then later on, when I found the tree, and I was like, oh, okay, well, great. Now I don't have to figure out. I could just process of elimination. Boop. And there you go.
Yeah.
So,
I guess it's good. It's there for the RPers, right? If you want to RP, that you're like
absolutely
a code breaker.
So you've got to do this. And you're basically just trying to like earn their favor. Keep them going.
I know it sounds like I hate the game from the way we're talking about it. I don't hate the game. I just find certain things very funny. That's all.
They're amusing.
It's funny. It's not bad. It's just funny.
Yeah. So that's basically the point. You go around earning progress, filling up your progress bar, so that you can progress the story past this. And the object of helping them out is to what, Aaron? We're trying to like make a go of like sticking it to the Dominion.
Yeah, and our first goal is just like get out there, see what it's like being a Char in Drizzlewood Coast, fighting Dominion. That's pretty easy to do, right? You do 2 or 3 things. It's not a big deal. I get frustrated with that stuff because I don't know. Story gameplay is not. I don't even want to say it's not ArenaNet's strong point because I don't think it's MMO's strong point. MMOs just have bad gameplay in single player story sections because they're not built to do that. Right. I think it's more of an MMO problem than an ArenaNet problem.
Yeah.
But it's still, I don't enjoy those sections. They just, they're annoying.
I will say that if you are so the concept of this map is actually pretty interesting because it plays like a WW map in PvE. More so, I think, even than Silver Waste. In that you've got regions that get captured and are your color. Felt like more like alliances, which made me giggle while I was playing through. I was like, oh, this is like alliances in Guild Wars 1. Haha. Because alliances in both WW.
If we're talking the map is great. The map is possibly one of the coolest maps in the whole game. Like, it's tight. And as I was playing it, even though I'm kind of off the game right now, I was like, okay, if I was playing Guild Wars 2 actively, I would be like addicted to this, right? I would be not able to wait until I could get on and play more in this map. It's a very good integration of WW style gameplay into PvP.
Yeah,
it takes what Silver Waste and Dragonfall are trying to do, and does it way better.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool PvE open world map experience. It's very nice.
I did like it. I think this is also the first time where I felt like prior to this map, I've been able to kind of cycle through whatever mount felt like, all right, I'll just, stick to ground stuff. If I want to go up in the air, I'll go up in the air. This is the map where I pretty much exclusively used my sky scale for the entire thing to get around because I didn't want to get shot, killed, or having to engage in combat if I wanted.
There's a lot of snipers around this map.
A lot of snipers.
Snipers are hanging out. They're creeping on this map, and it's obnoxious. But I use my sky scale exclusively. I literally don't swap to any other mounts. I got to say, having a sky scale in this map is very handy.
It is
because there's a lot of elevation changes, and constantly re-swapping to a Springer would just be annoying.
No, there's a lot of good terrain to do your cliff jumps if you run out of endurance, out of flying.
Well, endurance. And if you have the endurance refill mastery on mount, you can get around on a sky scale pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because you can hit your little loopy twirl key, right, and give yourself a nice. You can do 4 of those in a row if you have the energy refill mastery. So you can zip around pretty quick on a sky scale. I found it incredibly. I got done with the whole story in like 60 minutes, thanks to sky scale.
Yeah, the sky scale was good. I mean, I walked away several times and I just AFK'd on my sky scale. It was like
that's the number one function of the sky scale is safe AFK anywhere, any map.
It is. It's great. So once you get through that, you've done some good. The Char are happy with you, and you're going into the third story step, which is snapping steel. And this is instanced, right? No, this is not. You've got to find the entrance to the secret base in this one.
Yes. And this is basically a rehash. Do you remember the there's this quest in Heart of Thorns where you need to go find rocks. And so you just go press F on a variety of things that she leaves behind. It's the same quest. It's just easier to find the things. I remember hating that quest because it's really hard to find the little rocks.
Yeah.
But it was breezy.
Because you didn't have you didn't really have a starburst. A little green star to follow on that rock.
Whereas this one, it's like go look around, but also, hey, it's right here. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, thank you for cutting the bullshit, Arena.
Yeah, I appreciate
that.
Yeah.
And there's people out there who are like, I like to role play and try to find the thing. I don't. Tell me where it is, please.
Help me get through this quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this again is a nice way to explore the map, I found. And then you go in, find the entrance to the base, make your way through.
Keep in mind, this whole time, Smoter the Unflinching is becoming increasingly more Dick Waddish. Because he wants to storm the base head on, and Malice wants to sneak in and like ninja the base.
Yeah.
And so you start out this mission. It's a stealth mission, starting out, right?
Yeah.
So you get the special action key where you do it. It's an AOE, and you pop it on somebody, and Malice just kills them. Right?
Yeah. You know what this
Now,
is, right?
What?
Remember the stealth mission in season 2 when you're playing Kaith?
Yeah.
The memory seeds? It's the same thing.
Yeah, they've had I swear they've had a couple of
They've
stealth
had a couple
missions.
of times where you've done the same thing, like you get stealth and then have to take out stuff.
Yeah. So you get this special action key that's like badass, right? You insta-pop people. And me, being a smooth brain, is like, oh, well, I'll just use this through the whole thing. You only get 5 of them. But of course, I did not realize this. So I popped it all at the beginning.
And then you had to fight.
Now, and then I had to fight. But what we're forgetting here is that this is Guild Wars 2. And the game is easy. So it didn't matter. Like, I blew the whole stealth concept, and it didn't matter. Again, that's not a big deal. Like, it's fine, right? The story still progresses onward. I just found it funny that I totally blew it, but was fine.
Yeah. I found this one easier to stealth through and never had to pop it because the lanes that you could walk through are a lot wider than in the Kaith mission. So I made it through the entire.
Mission is actually pretty hard.
It is.
It's pretty hard.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just walked through, never used it at all, and then got an achievement for not getting caught and just being stealth the entire time.
Did you do? There's an adventure in the Ash Legion headquarters.
Yes.
In Grothmar. Did you do that adventure?
Oh, in Grothmar, no. I know the heart that is up in like Heart Rise.
Or something, that's
which
just
is
long.
Annoying.
That's just vanilla Guild Wars 2 cancer. But there's an adventure in Grothmar that is a stealth like Ash Legion course, and you have to go through and get these little books. And that's really hard. That's really difficult. You got to do it all in like 30 seconds. It's crazy.
Oh wow!
But that's like what this was, but difficult. If you like Guild Wars 2 stealth gameplay, I would encourage going and doing that adventure.
Yeah, adventures left a bad taste in my mouth in Heart of Thorns, and I've kind of avoided them ever since.
Here's the thing. I hate adventures too. I don't like them. I don't think they should be in the game. But boy, are they easy mastery points.
This is true.
They are a life hack for mastery points. Like, if you want to get max mastery in this game, start doing adventures today.
There, guys. You heard it
because it's
first.
easy. Yeah.
So the object of this is you're making your way through to the war room, where you have to fight one of Ryland's war band mates,
Cinder Steel
Temper.
Yeah.
And you get an achievement for killing her pretty quickly, which I found really easy to do.
If you raid, you'll get the achievement.
Yeah.
Like, if you know a DPS rotation, you'll get the achievement.
Yeah.
I went in on a Dragon Hunter like it was a joke.
I went in on a Power Soul Beast, and I am like not the world's best Power Soul Beast, and I still got it, and I was like, okay.
Power Soul Beast is hot, though. Power Soul Beast is hot.
It is.
Yeah. But Cinder, for those of you who don't remember, Cinder is the one that during Forging Steel, where the convoy is dealing with like the Ice Brood,
Yeah.
Cinder's at the back like, hey, do you want to come kill Tar Elementals? That's this guy. So if you hate that guy, then you can kick his ass. Or her ass. It's a girl. Is it a guy or a girl?
It's a girl.
I don't know. Girl, yeah.
It's a girl.
Yeah, you could whoop her ass for that bullshit in this mission, and it felt good. I'm not going to lie to you.
It felt pretty good. And so the object here is after we've defeated her, Krisha convinces us to let's use her as a negotiating pawn, or a pawn basically to bring Ryland back to the negotiating table.
Which is an objectively smart decision.
And
it's a good idea.
Smoter is sitting there like, just kill her.
Smoter's like, stupid. I'm like, bro, you're a cartoon. Like, you can't be curmudgeon-y just for the sake of being. There's no conceivable reason.
Smoter in this episode literally pissed me off because I felt like, or do we have Bangar just hanging out with us?
And you and I were talking about that earlier, is the characterization of Smoter is A, it's an archetype, right? This exists in many stories. B, it's very reminiscent of Bangar in previous episodes this season.
Yeah.
So Bangar has gone through his character development. This is the end of Bangar is in his final form, right? He's obviously going to be a Jormag minion, but as far as character-wise, this is who Bangar is, right?
Right.
Smoter is just a previous iteration of Bangar. Like,
Smoter, in previous interactions from
he seemed fine.
Seasons ago, he seemed fine. He seemed like a reasonable guy. Even at the beginning,
he was just like, all right, let's go kill this ghost. Thanks. And then
he's got this. He is the one who negotiated the Char human treaty.
Yeah.
Right, to de-escalate that. He's known as being a diplomat, and all of a sudden it's gone. He's like, F diplomacy, we're just going to kill them all. He's
a warmonger. Like,
apparently.
That's his character archetype. He's a warmonger.
To the point where I'm sitting there this entire episode going, is this just Bangar with like a Mesmer veil like disguise that the player character's been using? Like, has he just infiltrated, or
here's the thing,
or is he being like mind controlled by Jormag?
Which would be tacky because they've already done that with one of the Legion Imperators. That if they did it again, it's just a rehash of a plot point that has already been explored, which is lazy, if you ask me. And if it's so, when you mentioned that, like, oh, is it him as a Mesmer? Like, you said that jokingly, but I was like, they gonna do that shit. Oh, no.
I mean, I was sitting there going, what? Yeah, no, seriously.
They've already pulled that bullshit with Balthazar, right? And if they did it again, I would just
the player character has done it, 2 or 3 times now?
Yeah. And Casimir did just get here, didn't she? She just popped up. Oh, yeah, by the way, in the first instance,
Logan and Casimir show up.
For no reason.
For no reason at all. Because I didn't even, run into them in the map. Did you?
No, I didn't. I'm sure they're there. I'm sure they are.
I would imagine that they would be. I didn't see them, but...
It was kind of... So it's flavor, right? Which is fine. Because they show up and they're like, we're here to repay our debt to the Blood Legion, right? Because there's Blood Legion in some of the human areas doing Blood Legion shit, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So they're like, we're here to repay our... And they're very polite. They're almost too polite about it, right? They show up and they're like, we are at your service.
Yeah.
Calm it down. Dial it back.
Who are these humans? And it's like, oh, and then Ritlock's going to be like, oh, well, this is Logan. My man, bro.
So let's go back and talk about that, actually. When Logan shows up, Rit and Smoter doesn't know who he is.
I know.
Ritlock is like, Mom, Dad, this is my boyfriend, Logan.
Yes! It was so awkward. I was like, what is going on with the fan service?
Weird.
It was funny. I laughed.
It was, yeah. And then Logan goes, oh, Ritlock, it's great to meet your friends. What a weird scene.
It was just awkward. It was very awkward. I don't know. But then Logan and Casimir, you don't hear from them again until later, and they just show up, and you're like, actually, can you wait at the door?
Yeah, they pop up just for you to be like, how about you not come in?
Yeah, don't come in. We got this. Just wait over here in the corner. And they're like,
why did you bring the
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they brought him back. I felt like it was such a disservice to why even bother?
Yeah,
it literally just felt like why
they brought him along for that scene in the beginning where they're like, what if Logan meets the War Council as Ritlock's boyfriend? That would be funny, wouldn't it? That's why it's there. That's why it's there.
Fan service.
And to be fair, it did make me laugh.
It did make me laugh. I thought it was funny. So
Yeah. But currently we've captured Cinder Steel Temper.
Yes, currently we've captured Cinder Steel Temper. We're gonna bring Rylan back to the negotiating table. Smoder is not happy about this. He thinks we're a bunch of punks, weak ass punks, and then Krisha is like, "All right, go and do things for me, and we'll get you your marching orders in a second here." Because Smoder, is this the one where Smoder's gonna like distract while they create an infiltration path with Malice? Malice is gonna go out and try and do some little sneaky stuff.
You know what's crazy?
Huh.
I don't remember when these things happen. So I'm pretty sure that the base infiltration.
And the thing is that you just played it, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, because so here's where my brain's at. I feel like the base infiltration mission is not the final instance.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No.
The
there's
final
2 more
instance
steps
is when
after
you
that.
go, but both instances take place in that base.
Yes.
And that's why I can't differentiate. You capture Steel Temper, and then you leave to do more busy work.
To do more busy work.
Steel Temper is captured while you're working for Smoder.
Right. But so in the next step, distract, destroy, and distrust, we've got to go and find and build. We're basically like now sent off to go hunt things because Smoder has decided that he's going to give us orders of busy work stuff to distract Ryland's forces.
So we pick up parts for a weapon, right?
A torpedo or something.
We charge up a searing crystal. And commit a war crime, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this quest. This quest is supposed to be like Monka S, right? So when you the way this whole thing goes down is hilarious. Smoder's like, bro, I got this crystal, and I need Flame Legion people to charge it up, and it's gonna make like a really cool weapon. Trust me.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And
we asked the Flame Legion guy, so what is this? It gives you that dialogue option. What is this crystal? I can't tell you that. It's above my pay grade. I got orders to tell you, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, and so you go get the crystal charged up, and Smoder is just like, so there's this enemy supply camp, and you just drop this in there.
Just drop it in the chimney, and we're like,
for people who don't know, in a wartime scenario, it's considered tacky to kill unarmed members of the enemy forces. Like, it's not cool, right? Now, granted, it's a war, right? What are you gonna do? But you're not really supposed to do that, right? So we drop this searing crystal down a manhole.
This is another one where you get choices to either not drop it or to drop it.
What happens if you pick not drop it?
So if you decide, no, I'm not going to do this, Ritlock takes it from you and drops it down the thing. And he's like, we're trying to protect. Huh? Yeah, he drops it down the thing.
Yeah, and then when you get inside, he has the audacity to go, look what we did.
Yeah.
What have we done?
What did
you do, Ritlock?
Yeah.
Also, Ritlock, for someone who's been a hard ass for most of the game, right? I feel like this is out of character for him. So he did drop this thing down this well, and he killed a bunch of scientists, right?
Right.
To me, Ritlock Brimstone would be like, boo fucking who, they were Dominion scumbags. Right? But instead he's like, oh my god, what did we do?
Well, and the reason why he's all, oh my god, what did we do, is because they find some Ash Legion char in there, and then you're like, has Malice turned the Ash Legion against it? Has she defected?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. I thought that was dumb to even question, because I'm like, they're the Ash Legion. They have plants in the Dominion, obviously.
Right.
Obviously, they have plants in the Dominion. Of course. She says later that they have plants in the Dominion.
Yeah.
Of course.
We just killed the Ash Legion spies.
And we did,
along with
yes.
the R&D of the Dominion dudes.
Again, it's generally considered in a war not cool to do that. Also, we don't know it's a searing crystal until we dump it down there, and then we go in the cave, and there's all the searing crystals sticking out of the walls, and you're like, oh.
To be fair,
Right.
I didn't actually see the searing crystals sticking out of the wall until later when we went back and we were like, you talked to the Flame Legion guy, and you're like, what the heck was that? Oh, that was a searing crystal. What the fuck?
Yeah. There's all these purple little crystals popping out of the wall. So, that was bad, right? It's kind of a miniaturized version of it, right? But
Yeah,
it technically was cool. Fun fact: I picked to drop the grenade.
you did. I chose not to, so we knew what the heck was going on.
I was just like, let's just get this over with. Drop the fucking thing.
Right.
I was like, I don't want
Ritlock
to
bitched at you, right? You said that Ritlock bitched at you for dropping it.
Well, because not immediately he doesn't, but when he gets in the cave, he's like, "Oh my god, look what we've done!" And I was like, "It's a war, dude. Like, you're acting like you never killed anybody before. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like half the hearts in this game involve butchering some form of helpless indigenous wildlife or indigenous civilization. like, do you know how many Skrit you butcher in vanilla Guild Wars 2? The Skrit aren't technically like a hostile force. They're just Skrit, right? They just want to build their shinies. Yeah. And you just rampage through their homes in so many hearts. They're innocent. They didn't do anything.
Right.
But now Ritlock's like, oh, we probably shouldn't kill people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what you want from me, Ritlock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In my choice, he just takes it and he's like, we've got to like give Krisha and the others cover. So let's just do this and stop whining, Commander. Essentially. So okay, so we go in and we're like, right, we've got to go and pull Krisha aside, which we never actually do.
We do not.
To figure out if Malice is on our side or not.
That struck me as such a boneheaded conclusion to draw from that.
It's just weird. Like, okay, let's pull Krisha aside. No, let's handle Rylan first. Okay, so eventually, are we going to pull her aside? We never do. Maybe it's because Malice came out and was like, well, yeah, I had spies in there. Duh. So yeah. So this is what leads us to the final instance, which is Turnabout.
Bringing Rylan back to the negotiation table.
Bringing Rylan back to the negotiating table.
A bargaining chip.
Yes. And so we bring him back, and he's like, he comes up with, he comes in not alone.
Yeah.
Did you really think that he would?
But with keep in mind, he comes in with basic generic Dominion cronies.
Runs.
And what they've told Cinder at this point that we forgot to mention, they've dropped the bomb to Cinder before Rylan gets there. They tell Cinder, "You remember all those other guys from your warband? We've killed them."
Right.
This happens off screen.
Right. Well, this happens out of the meta, I believe.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. It's just I guess if you don't play the meta, because I didn't play the meta, right? I was like, that's a bomb, isn't it? But yeah, I guess if it happens in the meta, then that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's like in the final instance of
Heart of Thorns.
Yeah, Dragon.
The big fight happens in the open world.
Open world. So it's kind of like that. So you get Rylan there. He's not having it. You tell him that you killed his warband. He's like, he doesn't really believe you, I think, because. Or
I took it as he's stoically not broken up about it, but he probably is. But he's instead of softening his heart, he is hardening his heart.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of the vibe that I got from that encounter. But yeah, it could be just I got the impression that he does know that they're dead, but he's just like, I've made my bed. That was kind of the impression I got from this scene.
And this whole time, right, he's only talking to Krisha. You're right there again. He will only talk to Krisha. Krisha's trying to reason with him. Smodor is openly mocking all of this in the background. You're like, shut up, dude.
Smodor is grumbling.
He is.
Yeah.
And then Smodor does the thing that probably you want. I mean, I wanted to be like, I just wanted to punch him. He basically just kills Cinder.
He knifes Cinder before the negotiations have come to
Really
a definitive conclusion.
He just takes
which
that dagger
is
and knifes her.
It just doesn't make any sense to do that.
I don't.
You know.
This is again one of the reasons why I was like, what the heck is happening with Smodor, the guy who was the negotiator, the diplomat? What has happened to his character that he's so out of character here?
Yeah, it was
feels
and it could be it could be that Jormag is puppeteering him, right?
Right.
It's almost likely.
Right.
Right. It's just I find it a kind of repetitive plot choice to be like, oh, it happened to Bangar, now it's happening to Smodor. It's like, we already did this.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. So yeah, I found if that is where they're going with it, it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. Like, that's possible, but it's kind of repetitive.
Right. So this is the thing that sets Ryland off. We have a big battle. And then
there's a cutscene.
Yes.
There's a cutscene that is the funniest thing about this whole episode is that this cutscene, you can tell, even though there's no VO, you can tell that it has the best lip sync animation of any cutscene they've ever done.
It does have one line that's voiced.
It does. But you can see the way their lips are moving with words has been upgraded.
Yeah.
For a cutscene that launched with no dialogue.
I know.
Feels bad, man.
But basically, the point of the cutscene is Ryland turning to his mother and it's like, I trusted you.
Yeah. Yeah, and he does have that whole voice line. Because I assume they started VO in studio before the coronavirus hit.
Sure.
So they probably have more dialogue recorded than that. But they probably just chose to cut all of it except that, which is like,
Shaman
okay.
Found a disused cutscene that he's got up either on his channel or somewhere. So here we go. We have now to fight Ryland's forces, and then Ryland takes off.
So
and then our friends are like,
cutscene,
go after him.
Yeah, when this cutscene ends, the quest objective goes defend yourself, right? Yeah. So I'm like sitting here fighting these guards,
defending myself,
and then the quest dialogue updates to follow Ryland.
Yeah,
and I'm still fighting the guards.
I did the
why
same.
Are these guards dying?
Yeah.
I've unloaded several rotations into them. The guards can't die. Spoiler alert. You can't kill them.
No, you have to
so
go follow
you just
Ryland.
have to figure out, oh, I'm supposed to run. Right? So that was fun. And then, I eventually started chasing Ryland, and he leads you a merry dance.
Right. Because apparently there's supposed to be some dialogue that tells you to go chase him. But because we have no voice acting, it comes through your chat box. We can't hear it. Yeah. Again, another evidence that we are so used to having those audio cues to tell us what to do. So you go after and you chase Ryland, and you chase him, and you chase him, and you chase him, and he leads you into essentially an open field where here comes his legion.
Well, it's a field on the edge of a cliff with a bridge.
Yeah.
And the bridge is very moodily foggy.
Right, okay. This is essentially, if you remember the trailer for the Icebreed Saga at the launch, at the announcement, right? The one that the fog lifted, and you see this like ice-broodized Char army.
Yeah.
Here you go, guys. Here's your Char army that's been ice-broodized. The warband mates that were killed are actually now Icebreed.
Well, this scene is actually really cool. It's a super cool scene.
It is.
And part of it is when you approach this bridge, you see regular Char.
Yeah.
You see Icebreed Char. Oh shit! Right.
Yeah.
You see Bone Skinners. Book.
Yeah.
Right. And then you see this army that's like more than just one type of unit,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh shit, these guys are real. And what it reminded me of, you've seen the movie 300, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cool shots in that movie where they're like, okay, Xerxes has this army, but he also has fucking elephants and rhinos and shit, right? And that's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh shit, they're doing that.
Yeah.
And it was like, he's got like this next level army of not only char, but really scary supernatural creatures that Jormag is bent to its will. It's kind of an unnerving scene. I liked it a lot.
I did. I liked it too. If you go in solo, if you're not playing with a party, I thought that the combat was pretty good.
Yeah, this scene, it throws a lot of enemies at you, and they do a lot of damage. So it's kind of, especially if you're like, I was on a Guardian with Berserker gear, right? So I went down a couple times.
Yeah.
But I also got back up. So I didn't die in the story instance, thank God.
Good job.
But yeah, they throw a lot of enemies at you, and it's kind of fun to see if you can burst them all down in time before they kill you, basically.
Yeah.
The boss fight was pretty easy, though.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Break bar comes up.
It's crazy how easy these boss fights are if you are using a raid build.
Yes. I agree.
Like, back when I used to play full RP mode in, like, bad gear, like, I used to be like, oh, the story's all right. Like, the combat's all right. And then when I started playing, like, meta builds and gear,
You're like,
I was like, oh.
Right. Yeah. That's why we kept telling you, Aaron, you might want to change out of that Knight's gear. It's all right, man.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Knight's gear. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. So there you have it. So we do eventually kill the last. No, actually, we do. We kill the last one, but then we've got to like haul ass to get out of there because.
Well, and the girl we kill, the char girl we kill, who's the boss, is the Minister of Morale for the Dominion. And she's the lady whose voice you hear on all the propaganda speakers throughout the map. Going like, going like, join Bangar, he's the way to unity, right? Like, that's this lady. She's mentioned in the dialogue pretty early in the episode.
She's the strike mission boss as well.
Ah, okay. And see, I haven't done the strike mission.
I haven't done it either, but I read the achievements, and so I was like, oh, that's the point. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so it's kind of, we kill a fairly significant. I wish that character had gotten more time to be a character, though, because you kind of just hear her name dropped, and then hear her a couple times on loudspeakers, and then kill her.
Right.
So
I will say I am interested in playing through this episode again once they've got the voice acting in.
Yeah, I'll definitely play it again when they do.
Because I think it's just going to add a lot more. I'm hopeful that it will, but I think it will. So after we
and the one of the things that sets the atmosphere of this scene is the music when you have to run away.
Yes.
The music when you have to run away is like hardcore. It's scary.
When we're chasing Ryland, I don't know. I'm thinking that they upgraded the tech so that you're actually moving faster, unless it was a glitch that happened to me, or did it happen to you as well?
What? I don't think I experienced anything.
You're actually running like you've got like perma omega swiftness on when you're chasing Ryland. At least that's what happened in my instance. Like it was like
it might have been that way. I didn't personally notice.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But then you got to run back to you've got to retreat after you kill what's her name, the minister. You've got to retreat.
Starts with a V. Her name started with a V.
I don't remember.
Vivian.
We'll call her Vivian.
Vivian sounds like somebody who would do propaganda for a living. That's some Vivian shit.
Oh god. Okay. So so we've got to haul ass. And we've got to go back to hide in the base, the secret base that was.
That's not a secret anymore.
It's not a secret anymore.
But Ryland would probably just be like, they probably went to that base.
So yeah, so it's kind of like not a good place to be, guys. You might want to choose a different base. So once you're back, her name, it's not Vivian, it's actually Verinia Storm Sounder.
That's fantasy Vivian. That's
Fantasy.
medieval fantasy Vivian. Let's be
Thank
honest.
God the wiki is here because I don't remember these characters' names. So once you're back, everyone's like, "Where's Ryland?" And this was basically Ritlock coming to grips with, "We've lost him for good."
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sad. I felt for.
I mean,
but, you know.
they might. Okay, so Guild Wars 2
Yes.
might have some balls and have us kill Ryland. They might do that. I don't think they will. I think Bangar is going to have Ritlock killed, and that is going to flip Ryland. That is my prediction.
Your theory. That's your prediction. Okay.
For how the plot is going to go. Yeah.
The dialogue here at the end, though, is kind of funny because they turn to Smodor and they're like, "You're not the Condor. What the hell are you thinking?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "It's done now."
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: there's no repercussions for this for Bangar.
Not.
But like
for Smodor.
Oh yeah.
I know.
For Smodor, right? But here's the thing: you almost, because I'm not a Char, right? I'm not in the Char. I don't have anything to do with them.
Right.
I'm free to kick your ass as much as I want. You know, the other Char might have their hands tied, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, and the player character literally says nothing to it. Like, the one line is, "We've lost the bridge and we met the Frost Legion," and that's it.
Yeah, we're very passive.
It's very, very strange.
Yeah, we're super passive in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an odd episode. I didn't dislike the story. I just thought there were a few character inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Um,
Ryland and Bangar
the
and
plot-
Sodar being the two that really stood out to me. And the commander being just bump on a log.
especially since I don't know about any of the other VOs. The only VO I listen to is the Sylvari Mail. On all my subsequent playthroughs, I listen to Twitch while I play.
Right.
But the Sylvari Mail VO has this very like commanding, I'm in charge feel to it. And it makes you feel like in seasons like 4 and the beginning of 5, it really makes you feel like the commander's a badass.
Yeah.
He doesn't take shit.
Yeah.
If you play on the Sylvari Mail.
Yeah, no, I love
it's very cool.
It's really good.
And I just reading the lines for this episode, I was like, my character wouldn't do that. You know, wouldn't say that. So
makes me wonder
I'll wait for the VO.
Yeah. It did make me wonder if they changed anything because of the lack of the VO, but I don't know. It just felt very like the commander is the sidekick at this point, or at least in this episode.
Which is generally how the story tends to go in MMORPGs, right? You usually end up being the sidekick, so that's not that weird. It's pretty wild that they've given the player character in Guild Wars 2 the spotlight so much.
Yeah.
Because usually in other MMOs you're just party to other people doing great things, whereas we are very much the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, this was definitely, and Ritlock. Like I felt like it was out of character for Ritlock to just do what everybody told him to do all the time. Like people are like, Ritlock, go do this. He's like, okay.
Okay,
and he's like, and then he'll come back and be like, I'm back for more. Like, he's such a stooge in this episode.
It's just very strange.
He's a lackey.
Yes, it's just very strange. So another thing that kind of bugged me in this episode concerning Ritlock in specific, did you notice how many times he just like shadow stepped in, shadow stepped out, shadow stepped in, shadow stepped out, doing his little
now
stuff?
that he's a revenant, he can just do that.
I feel like they abused it in this episode.
It's time for him to join the Ash Legion at this point.
It felt very thiefy. There was one Iron Legion character that was labeled, I think, as an engineer and did that, and I was like, the hell? What? You're even getting like thief animations for like shadow stepping. What is that?
I don't even know that the shadow stepping is supposed to be canon. I think it's just the game engine's a way of putting the character there.
Yeah,
like,
it's just very, very strange. But no,
I think it's their way of having a character come in that wasn't there before in the open world.
Uh-huh.
Because they've got to spawn in somehow. They've got to spawn the model in somehow,
I mean,
right?
you could do a Mesmer portal.
You could, yeah. But Ritlock ain't no Mesmer,
Oh,
which is
although
why
got
they could have used Casimir, right? They could have used Casimir as a taxi.
Or,
Human taxi.
brought in those thief portals that exist now.
That's true, yeah.
So, yeah, I was a little bit... I found it very disconcerting. And it could be that I found it disconcerting because I had nothing else to listen to, and here all of a sudden, here's Ritlock just, like...
Yeah.
I know that you've done this before, but it feels like you're doing it more now all of a sudden.
Yeah. Maybe he takes secret trips to the mists. We don't know about it. And he's popping out of the mist when he comes to see us like that. Like the beginning of Hot. That's the plot of season 6, Ritlock's Secret Mist Vacations. That's an episode title.
That's the next
coming
Visions
up.
of the Past.
Yeah. Visions of the Past. What was Ritlock up to in the mists?
That would actually be a cool one.
It would.
It would.
Because you never learn, like you learn that he bumped into Balthazar, right? But you never really learn.
Yeah.
How did he
learn all of these things?
Why are you a revenant now?
We got that throwaway line in Path of Fire that, Glint taught me. What?
Right. And
she taught you how to do like the Glint stuff, but what about the other stuff? You're telling me that she learned. Anyways, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Anyways, so that's the story. Overall, not a bad story. It's probably telling.
It had
I was
some. It had some
characters.
standout parts.
Yeah.
Right? It had some standout parts. The map is cool. What I played of the meta, I didn't finish it, but what I played of the meta is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That scene at the end of the episode is like really nice.
Really
It's super atmospheric,
yep.
and the cutscene is very well animated despite the lack of VO. With VO, that's going to be a sweet cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to like in this episode. It just, as far as the moment-to-moment gameplay for most of the episode, it came across as like more Guild Wars 2 story questing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The filler felt
story questing is not my favorite thing to do in this particular.
The filler parts of it felt more fillery, probably because of the lack of even ambient dialogue in the map. You had a lot of.
I will say though, due to the fact that the map is so active and abundant with content, the event bar filled up fairly quickly.
Yeah.
The event bar did not make me want to throw my PC out the window like it did in Grothmar.
Yes. I think they found the sweet spot with how fast to fill it up.
I'm not completely disgruntled with that. It bugged me at first when I saw it. I was like, right, but it went fine.
Okay, I'm conscious of the fact that we're up almost at 6:30 for you, and you've got to go soon. Right?
I'll probably be fine.
Okay.
I left the door unlocked, so she'll just be able to walk in.
All right.
So we can talk about Moda and Jemmy's really quick.
All right. Okay, so that's the story for us. We haven't done the strike mission yet, and we got to play more of this. We have to play more of the story, so or of the map.
We'll do a next episode. We'll do an update on what we thought of the achievement meta and the strike mission and all that good nonsense.
Yeah, but by then, hopefully, we'll both be back on a regular Guild Wars 2 cadence, which is currently lacking.
I'm looking forward to starting to play again, but I'm dreading daily fractals. But we don't have to talk about that. I hate them. I hate fractals. Anyway.
Okay. So, other things going on in the community. We've got the Masters of the Arena tournament. This is Mighty Teapot's PvP tournament, which got some pretty sweet prizes. 700K in gold, 13K in real life, in RL cash prize pool. That's pretty sweet.
And it is backed by ArenaNet.
It is backed by ArenaNet. I don't know what that
backed
means
and promoted
exactly.
by ArenaNet. I do not know for sure if they contributed to the prize pool or not. So I wouldn't know either way. It's possible they did. You could probably find that information somewhere. I couldn't find a definitive answer.
Now, the cool thing about this is obviously it's been promoted by several different community members. His trailer is actually pretty cool, which we'll play in the background here in a second. Let's get that screen up. And this is Teapot makes good trailers. I will say that.
I believe that particular trailer was made by Noxie Greenrose, if I'm not mistaken.
Noxie does.
They made it for they made it for Teapot. And it's a really nice trailer. It's slick.
Yeah, it's very slick. The trailer for the last ERP was also really well done.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. It's like we should just let Teapot handle the trailer making for this game because they do really good work.
And let's be honest, the Guild Wars 2 trailers for the Living World episodes are not great. Like I don't feel hyped after I watch a Living World trailer. I feel like, oh, Living World. I'm not like jumping out of my seat or anything. Yeah, this is a nice trailer.
It is a nice trailer.
Huge. I think it's the biggest prize pool there's ever been for a Guild Wars 2 thing, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody I can't think of anything that's ever been more than 700k gold, 13k IRL.
Yeah, no.
They might have had bigger money like cash prize pools for some of the ESL tournaments. But they've never given away 700k. No one's ever given away 700k gold, I don't think. I know the prize pool was sourced from multiple donations, multiple bigger streamers. Sourced from everywhere pretty much. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's going on right now, June 5th to June 7th. So there was he streamed it all day today.
Yeah, and they're going until tomorrow.
Yep.
So if you are into the PvP scene, give it a watch. It'll be over on Teapot's channel.
Yeah, the commentary is good. Roy is doing the commentary with Teapot.
Always a good time.
They're both very good at commentating. Teapot commentates the daily ATs on his channel a lot. He's really good at commentating. So it's a very entertaining thing to watch. Highly recommend.
Yep. So
and a lot of older PvP players that kind of left the game have come back to compete in this tournament.
In this one.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good flavor as far as competitors.
That's good. Oops. Yep. So that's what's happening in community. That's the big community news. And then the last two things that we've got on the agenda for today are some gem store stuff, so that you guys know what's happening in the gem store.
I'm so excited to log in and buy gems.
So we've got. Let me pull this up. This is this cracks me up that they're doing their own commercial. The Spell Weaver Glider.
Dolphy left the game, so they have to do their own videos.
Which, yeah.
Oh,
this one
bad.
And we talked about this, that it feels like a amalgamation of two existing gliders. The electromagnetic one.
Definitely the. I don't know how creating 3D objects in a game engine works, right?
No.
But if I were to use my layman, I've never developed a game before terminology, I would say this looks like the digital skeleton of the meteorite glider.
And the electromagnetic. So they're
and it has the color palette of the electromagnetic one. Yeah.
It feels very elementalist. Which I
mean it's cool. It's not bad looking. I probably won't buy it. I've got enough gliders, right? I'm pretty happy with gliders. No, gliders don't matter. Like, dude, I have a sky scale.
Yeah.
Why they shouldn't even make glider skins anymore. And no, you know what they should do? They should put glider skins in game from now on, because nobody wants to buy them because we have the sky scale now.
Except that people still buy them, so there you go.
It's insane. I can't believe it. But yeah, I mean, you can buy. It's 500 gems, I think.
It is 500 gems. Yes, correct.
I could not encourage you guys more to log into the game, get your credit card out, and give it to ArenaNet.
Or convert your gold to gems. There you go.
Don't do that. Don't do that. It hurts ArenaNet when you do that. Use your credit card.
All All right, and then the last thing that they've got out right now of the new things, because they've always got the recurring things that they cycle in and out, which we're not going to cover. They've got the Dragon's Watch Appearance Pack, which is 2,000 gems. I'm clicking on the wrong keyboard. There you go.
And it's 2,000 gems because it's the outfit plus the cape plus a bunch of crap that you don't need. They're like, and here, have five dye kits or whatever the hell, right? It's stupid. If you want this stuff, just buy the outfit and the cape. Don't buy
the outfit itself is 700 gems and the cape is 500 gems.
So you get away for 1,200, both for 1,200 gems, minus the tat, right?
The cape is
I think it's cool.
Good.
I like the outfit too.
It's got some good texture.
Yeah, I like it.
Part of it feels Heart of Thorns NPC armor to me, especially with that headband and some of the. I think the chest piece is what's reminding me of that, or I don't know.
The chest piece is unique. I think it's new. Yeah. They might have bits on the pieces that are previous assets, but overall, I think they are new in total.
We're getting.
Yeah, I like.
Go ahead.
I would consider. I mean, I know I just like memed buying gems, but don't buy gems, guys. I would consider spending some gold on these.
Yep.
Like they're pretty cool. I don't wear outfits, but I always think like just in case I ever need an outfit, I want to have good ones on hand.
Would you buy?
And
the
it
cape?
Causes me. The cape is cool. I don't really need another cape though, so I probably won't buy the cape. I have the runic cape.
Yeah. I mean, I thought you would never buy a cape, and then you did. So.
What's wrong with buying capes?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
I needed a cape. So I bought one.
That's good. I just like giving you a hard time about it.
now that I bought a cape, now that I spent that like $4 on cape, a developer can get some chicken nuggets at McDonald's. I helped.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Buy gems, everybody.
Buy gems.
Support
the studio. So that's this episode, guys. Like we said, it was going to be a little bit thinner, a little bit shorter.
It turns out we wanted to bitch about Smoder a lot.
We did. We bitched about him a lot more. But you know what? I feel like it's deserved because he's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I'm hoping that the explanation that we get in the next episode or whenever is that Smoder's being mind controlled.
Here's the thing.
He's being mesmer. You know, we're actually getting Brangar infiltrating us and, poning us because that'd be hilarious.
Here's the thing. This is a fantasy MMORPG. The story can be whatever they decide. Like, so I heard some. Like, have you ever heard people be like, there's going to be a Cantha expansion. I wonder how we're going to get there, right? Emma, like, fantasy bullshit. That's how we're going to get there. Fantasy bullshit.
Right.
Right? Like, that's why I kind of checked out of the story in certain ways because I just think of it like, well, it'll be some fantasy bullshit. I don't know. I'll enjoy whatever it is, but it's bullshit. That's my review of the story. That's the review of the patch, guys.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it, but it's bullshit.
Enjoyed it. Jarring without the VA. Some good episodes, some good moments, some weird character inconsistencies, and we're looking forward to when the voice acting is back so that we can replay it and hopefully have a better experience.
I'll save my Char playthrough until there's VO.
There you go. That'd be
I'll make the Claw of the Connor dagger just in case there's special dialogue. I won't do that.
We'll do that because there's not going to be any of it. Yeah. So that's episode 19 in the can for us now.
Yep.
Good job, Aaron.
I did it. I made it through another one.
Yep. And thank you to those of you guys who turned out in chat. Thanks to Jedrick for letting us know that my mic was not working because, I didn't press the button.
That would have been a disaster, yeah.
It would have been really. We would have had to re-record the episode. Completely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like a completely fake episode.
It happens.
Awkward.
All right. Well, thanks guys for coming out, and we will see you next time. If you want to follow us, give us a follow here on Twitch, TyriaNow, on Twitter. You can drop us an email if you really want to get a hold of us, or drop us a DM at our Twitter handles, InkySticks or JustMMonk. Just M.
You mean at MMO_unk? That's my Twitter handle, guys.
It's not.
It's not. It's at JustMonk. 2 M's.
Yep. So we will see you next time. Next time there is a new Living World patch, which should be in the next couple of months. Right?
Yeah, probably
August-ish.
May. Probably late May, so probably mid-August. Mid-August.
So
wait, let me look at the calendar. So it's June.
Right, but it came out at the end of May. So
I'm gonna nail it by the day. Tuesday, 4/11/18. August 11th is the next Living World patch, guys.
My birthday.
Yes.
So yeah, in the meantime, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. Don't forget to wear your masks if you're going out there, because this coronavirus is out there still kicking people's butt. If you're going out to the protests for Black Lives Matter, please be safe. Please be peaceful. Hopefully,
and wear a full suit of medieval steel armor.
I mean, okay. We had some craziness here in where I live. We had some people show up with like AR-15s. And
that sounds like Tennessee.
And a bunch of like ammo ready to like take out people, and the police caught them. So just be safe out there, guys. This world right now is kind of crazy and turned upside down, and we hope that you're able to enjoy your video gaming life to get some escape from
personal safety. Always a good thing
that we want you guys to do. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.